Okay, so the plan is, first we're going to wedge 20 pounds of clay. I'm not going to over wedge it, but I'm going to split it into 4 balls. I'm going to make 5-pound balls, and then I'm going to show you and remind you how you can centre 20 pounds of clay easier. Again, I've seen that, I can't remember who I saw it on YouTube, but I learned that from someone. There is no way that I'm going to manage to ever do 20 pound of clay as wedging. Secondly, and in fact also I've learned something from Vaughan Smith recently, who's in Nova Scotia, and he, when he's throwing big pots, uses something to put against his elbow. I haven't arranged that in this room, and it's something I'm going to look at in the future. The hardest bit I find is opening any pot. I haven't still found my mastery of that, but I managed to do it last time the right way. So we're going to wedge, then we're going to get on the wheel. I'm going to show you how I centre it going up through. I have a video on that somewhere on YouTube earlier on. And then we're going to have a go. It's going to be a long video. You might have to keep jumping forward. I'm going to just do it as one, as long as I can get my software to work for me. I have a great video that I talked for an hour about how I made a big bowl, because somebody wanted to know how I made a big bowl, and I haven't managed to get it to load up yet on my camera. So anyway, on my phone, we'll see where we go, and I'm going to turn the camera around and you're going to see me prepping for 20 pounds of clay. Okay, so the first thing to note is that I use ES10, Scarba ES10, normally as a fine clay with no grog. These bowls are ES5, which is what they call original. It means it's got a fine grog in it. When you read about it, it means that you can do big pots, and you can also do slab building with it. It's very forgiving, not I've got to go and get me scales. Pause me a moment. Okay, so 5 balls of 5 pounds. That's 410. Right. I went and bought some more clay today, because I didn't believe this was big enough. I think it's just going to be short, but I have to try and make these match. Right. Might be enough clay, mightn't it? But I don't know. We've gone to ounces now. Let's get back to the right. I actually didn't have to go to the, okay, do it all then. That whole bag is just 20. So I'm just going to do wedging now. I have a step, let me show you, because I've got this table made, but it's not high enough for when I want to wedge. I want to be higher up. I can spiral wedge, but I'm not going to spiral wedge in this case. I'm actually just going to do, is it called ram's horn wedge? Ram's head wedge, where it's just going in the same direction. It's actually nice, and just turn my feet round it. It's actually, you can feel it you can feel the clay suddenly relaxing. Now, I have a bit of a funny dilemma, and I would love people to help me with this. when I put my clay on the wheel, so let's look at this there. Let's look at this ball here. We know that this ball is going round in that way. If I put it on the clay like that, I get clay release. So I've started to put it on the wheel, which is what I see a lot of the potters do. Way round. So in other words, I shouldn't have too much clay releasing. Now you've got to remember, this is pugged, and that is my philosophy. I can feel it's a bit tight there. My philosophy is, as a nearly 60-year-old woman, I don't really want to knacker myself out doing so much wedging. I do have a pug mill, but I'm not going to put, I did before, put new clay through my pug. I'm not really that keen on doing that at the minute. My garage isn't really set up, so that'll be the next bit of the project when we're doing the pottery. Okay. So again, spiral is that way. So we'll see. When I did the last one, so much clay release off, but when I watch other people talking about it, so do they. So yeah. God, gets you warm. It's a very hot day. It's been a very hot day here in England. A terrible beginning to the season with the 1st of August today, 2024, in case you're watching this in the future. I don't know how many people are scared by throwing big pots. I've always found it quite a love if my body can cope with it. If my body can cope with not being too worn out afterwards. Because this is quite stiff at the beginning, but it's a fresh bag and it will release in a minute. Okay, stop that. Okay, so I'll put myself round the wheel, the side of the wheel a bit more, so that I hope you get a chance to see what I'm doing. This is a Hartley and Noble bat system. So Hartley and Noble. This is, usually you have the pieces that go in the middle, so I can leave my pots on there till they dry and drop off. In this instance, this is like an extension of the bat, and it drops in. It's not easy to drop in, I must admit. And in fact, what I'll probably do is do it that way. That's it, and then put that over. And I use it with an absorber sheet, an absorber cleaning cloth that makes it stick. Okay, so as we said, these are quite big. They're 5-pound balls of clay. I will put my glasses on and I will just work through it quite quickly to show you what I'm doing. But I'm basically going to put it down in here and I'm going to tap centre first. The biggest thing for me is to make sure that I don't use too much water. I have a habit and put my little finger down to secure it. And I can rise it up and down just to No, I wouldn't rise it up and down too much because I don't really want to put my body through it. So I don't normally do that. I'll just put my body in. I'm going to pressure with my body, and I'm going to put pressure on with my left hand and turn it up a bit. Go in and scrape the side off with my finger, and now you will see that that is very close to centre. It's good enough at this stage for this. So then I get a piece of wood, flat edge, and I am going to go in because I want a dry top piece. Now I have a towel with me and I dry my hands between each stage quite often. Now because I have just thrown that off centre a little bit by doing what I just did, I'm just going to just check. Yeah, and we know, so that I haven't got any reason for any air. That's really why I'm doing this, so I have a real flat edge. There's no air. And then I'm in a position that I can put the next piece of clay on. Now I can see that that's just moved out a little bit, out of centre. Okay, so we'll get the next piece. Now my hand, I'm working now on the bit above. Excess water off. If I dig down with my finger there, I can actually see that I'm actually on centre at that bottom part. And I think because I'm going to go £20, that's enough at this stage again. Nearly didn't do one of my bits. There we go. So we're going to do this so we have a flat top, so that it actually nice and dry, nice and flat. Sits in the middle. Okay. Put a bit of pressure on that bit there. Really hardy glasses, and I've got very focals as well. So the main thing for me and while I'm doing this, is to make sure, now it's getting a bit harder because I've got to make sure this is in here, pressing. I've got to make sure that my body weight okay. Again, just flatten out this bit. Take the last piece of piece. The main thing is the join, is to make sure there's no liquid in there when you shut the top. You don't want, you're trying desperately to spend a couple of minutes getting this. I've got a bit of an oscillation on it now, so I need to just spend a bit of time. I'm very happy with that now. Right. The hardest thing, as I've said, is this getting in here. What I'm going to do is, one of the guys uses this part when he's got such a big pot. A lot of people just basically, so let me just get that top bit flat so I know that that's flat. And now take a sponge. I've got different sponges. I'm pulling it out now. I'm very even, trying to keep it from coming off the got a little bit of an oscillation, but I've got that back. I'm happy with that. we want to go down to, I need an inch at the bottom. Curling my fingers up and pulling all of my body. Got to make sure that I'm wet enough, because if I get stuck on the clay, okay, that's worked. Just give myself a bit of a tidy up. Okay, well, I'm still a bit. I'm going to do this technique, see if that works for me. It did last time. And there comes all that clay off, like I was on about, even doing what I'm doing. But I don't think I'm the first person to say that can happen. We have to remember that clay is basically particles, isn't it? And they are all sitting on top of each other, depending on where they are. I think that's all right down here. Let's give that a bit of a press. And let's just see how deep we are. If I can find my pressy tool. That'll do that one. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I do want a good inch on the bottom of here, but this is more than an inch. I'm going to go down a little bit more. Go down a little bit more. Not a lot. And go backwards and forwards. And just double check. So it is a good inch. I probably could take a little bit more out, but I'd prefer to trim it away later if it comes to it. That's what I sort of did in the first one. Right, so let's give this a bit of a wetting up. Okay, so I'll just show you, I'll bring the camera over, I'll sort of show you the shape of what I've got inside so you know. Oop, keep dropping everything. Okay, so you can see the sort of shape I've got going on inside at the moment. Worrying, whenever I have this, I don't know whether it's a disbelief or, you know, you just tell yourself, oh, I can't do it. But actually, I usually get good results, but I do sort of put myself off by telling myself it's not necessarily easy to achieve. Let's find the right nice sponge. For the minute. Okay, so Here comes what happens with the clay. Look at it lifting off. So that shows, even with me doing it that way, and this is exactly what happened the last time. I'm moving so much clay up that I'm actually taking that much clay off. Look, half a pound of clay. And actually that was actually said in by one of the guys how much clay he loses. Exactly the same. So I need someone who's watching these who is an experienced potter to actually just sort of maybe give me a little bit of a heads up on, maybe I don't know, maybe I do need to have them with the coil. Maybe I'm making it worse by it actually puts me off. Absolutely puts me off. There you go. Okay. So I'm pushing in with my finger at the bottom to give myself a groove for the next. If I'm losing that much clay, the question comes, how am I going to end up with this matching the size of the other one? Oh, that's quite good actually. I get my tape measure. I don't know where it is, it's over there. So tape measure wise at the moment I am 39. I only want to get to, and I'm up at 8 inches. So I've got 2 inches, and interestingly enough, my last one on the inside is 41, and then I bent the bottom over. So I potentially got too much height with this one. But that's okay. Just hope I'm not too thin on it. Right, so the next sort of stage is that other one I've done over there is 44 when wet. This is 39. So that will happen naturally as I start opening it out now. Right, let's just do... It's interesting because Matthew Kelly, for anybody that watches a bit of Matthew Kelly, when he's starting to shape his big bowls now, he uses the wheel the wrong way round. And that's what I've started to do. Because I feel you've got to be careful going around it because I don't want to. Just want to just pull that up a bit more. Right. And turn it around the other way. I bought a new little rib today. I thought would be quite good for this. Now I might bring the camera to the other side for a minute. Oh, okay, so I've turned off my extra light because I'm hoping that will be better for you to see. But I'll do one pass with that like that, and then we'll come over the top and have a little look. So what I've got now is I'm just going to do this first before I look at flattening the outside. Okay, I'll show you the inside there. Oh, what I've got so far. Okay, so I'm going to come back round this side now, and I'm going to turn the wheel in the way that we throw, anti-clockwise. So I'm just going to turn it off and turn the wheel back, because what I've got to do now is just make the outside a lot more compressed. I'm going to use a metal rib, and I'm just going to be very slow with my metal rib. I'm going to start higher up first. Now, one thing, when I'm watching the people, they're usually pushing from the inside onto the back. That's better with a let's use a softer rubber thing. Let's try this one. Now it looks like I've managed to, happy with the inside. Oh, pushing it too. Got a bit of a bevel in there, did you see that? I'm a little bit worried it's ended up a bit thin. What I'm going to do is I'm going to torch it a bit. I'm also going to check the size, because that to me seems quite big, which is amazing. That's 43, so that's actually right. Then I'm going to turn my lip out, so I don't really want it to go any bigger than that. So let me compress my top here first, so that we know that we've got okay. Oh. Stop. Stop, stop, stop. So there you can see, I did really well, but then it started to relax on one side. Can you see this side coming in round here? Can you see this is lower? So I probably overworked it too quick. I'm going to have a look and see if it can be rescued. If it can't, we'll do another one tomorrow. But anyway, thank you for being on this journey with me. It gives you some idea where I'm at this stage. If I can do anything with it, I'll bring you back and we'll see if we can finish this off and see if we can make something out of it. Cheers, everybody. So, warm old night. So I thought that I'd put too much pressure on one side, but managed using my gas gun and my heat gun to just dry the clay enough to feel that I've stabilised it. It's very hard, with fresh clay, depending on the amount of, so just sort of to let you see what I've got at the moment. I can work on this when it's dried a little bit more. I am going to turn over the edge now, because if you have a look in the bowl, if I want these two to match, if you look at this one, I have took the edge over. So I'm going to have a go at that now. So let's put you on pause mode. Okay, as I said, I've just dried this off with my gas gun and my electric, and I have managed to stabilise the bit that I was worried about. It's actually not feeling too bad now. I can feel that there's a little bit that's leaning out. Okay, so the bit that I'm going to do now is twofold. I can see an air bubble, I think, in the inside. So I'm just going to do that, but I am going to work the inside when it's dried a bit more. So where's that air bubble? I can see something. I'll do that for now so I can get rid of that. Okay, so that's the inside of that. But now what I want to do is put the lip on and hope that I can do that to match the other one. Just wet it up a bit. Wet it up a bit more, because now with me using the heat gun, I didn't come near the top, but I've just got to make sure that the clay is wet enough to react for me. Just do that underneath there. And if I get a rib, what rib shall I use? I'm going to use this one for the minute. Okay. Now, let's have a look. That is, I'm sure, bigger than the other. 46, so it's going to be a little bit bigger. On the height, we're not bad. Not bad at all. So that's 6 inches, so that's the same. So actually, I have blooming well done it, which shocks me when you're trying to make two the same. Just go around the edge of this and just... There you go, just give that a nice thick edge. I want to make make sure they're not laying down, that they're sitting upright. I'll come back in now and just check that that is all drying the way I want it to dry. There you go. Oh, I'm over the moon with that. So there's the inside. It's got some work to do, but yeah, got to let it dry. And I've left a nice big, let me take that out of there. I've left a nice big base under there so that I can, if you have a look at this one, I've trimmed it all in. And yeah, wow, so there's the his and hers. I'm so pleased. Anyway, it's very hot here. Even though it's England, I'm very warm. And I just want to say thank you very much for watching me. I appreciate you 100%. I really love the messages. Some people have sent me lovely messages, lovely emails. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. I don't know how many will have made it through to the end, but hey ho. So hopefully some of you will have fast forwarded and found some bits in there that you like. But anyway, thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. So here is my latest commission. 3 things, 2 his and hers. So I have chosen to do a chattering finish. Let me turn that down a bit so you can actually see it. A chattering finish underneath, whereas actually I've cut it out because it's too, it wants to be. And guess what? I've managed to make 2 identical. So £20 of clay. I have videoed it, I just haven't got it up yet, but what about that? I am so pleased that I've managed this. So see you soon.